Hello again, and welcome to Violetta English by Reportage. I'm glad to be here again with you. I have to admit that it's not always comfortable for me to do these shootings that I committed to, especially on weather like this when it's raining. I was even afraid that the sound might be very affected by the noise around me, but it's not like that, because at this point I'm on a street, and here there are no cars passing, which are just altering a bit the sound. So I said, since I committed to doing these videos in my spare time, of course, because I have a 9-to-5 job, I'm doing my best to just keep the rhythm. What I would like today to talk about is a sensitive subject that I will not particularly, detail my opinion about, but I will just present particular situation and some personal points of view or some suggestions that I might have. So the subject is related to an article that I've recently read online on the online edition of New York Post, and it has as a central character a girl whose name is Kyla. So if you will have the patience to search for the post, you might find it, because it's recent. And this girl is about 18 years old now, and by this time she has, she's a girl, so Kyla, she's a girl, but by this time, by the age of 18, she transitioned and detransitioned to being a boy, because at a certain point in her life, in her child life, teenage life, she felt that she should just transition to a boy. The subject of the article is actually the fact that Kyla, at this moment, just weeks ago, she has taken to court the doctors and the hospitals that treated her, because her breasts were removed, even though she was fully healthy. She didn't have any, she had a double mastectomy, even though her breasts were healthy, so they were not removed for health reasons. And at the point that she realized that what she calls like a mistake, what she calls like something that she regrets, in a second, I need to change a little the position of the umbrella. Yeah, so at this point, when she realized this, she decided to take the doctors to the court, and the lawyer, her lawyer, that is conducted, I mean, he represents her in the lawsuit in California. He says that actually what she claims is that the doctors rushed her into surgery, that they should have protected her and not like rush her. This is what she actually declared to into surgery. Of course, she had lots of treatments. After that, she regretted, as she says in the article, and she is trying to return to her normal life before this surgery. What I would like to point here is actually what withdrew my attention once more is the title of the article, or one of the subtitles of the articles, which says that parents shouldn't be so like fast in supporting the teenage children with surgery for this transition to another gender, because in many cases, or in some cases, it proved to be like a decision that affected the child, the well-being of the child, and that they afterwards regretted. And I guess they had a lot of struggle with getting back to what it was before. Imagine surgery, it's not something easy at any age. So what I wanted to point here is actually like what I think parents might be, what might be useful for parents to do in order to like in order to distract the child from such a radical decision. And one point is that what I think they could do is like explaining them that there are children and young people who have very serious diseases and are fighting for their lives in hospitals, and they need surgery to save their lives. And of course, if they really want to give them like a lesson or an example, they could even take them to a hospital where there are children struggling for their lives and who need to take surgery. They don't want to take surgery, but they have to because they need to fight for their lives, and also to explain to their children the costs of treatments that parents who try to save the lives of their children, sometimes they don't have the money and they have to struggle and lead another struggle in order to get the money, to get people help them and raise the money for the cause of saving their child. And this might just bring the child who passes through such a crisis with his feet on the ground and see the tragedy that obliges young ones and children to have surgery because they have to fight for their lives. Another point would be like having a look why the child or the teenager got to this point where he feels like disconnected from his identity, even if it's about sexual identity. Why he feels like this? There might be something, maybe at school, maybe in the neighborhood, or simply in the environment where they are, and which just makes them feel ashamed and feel uncomfortable and feel disgusted, maybe, or feel disconnected, you know, to their identity. Right? And sometimes such a thing, it's so difficult to identify in the environment around, because we don't know, maybe it's not so obvious. But if you can identify that, you can just, maybe you can't move from the neighborhood, you can't afford to move to another town, to another place, to another region, to another street, but you might be able to change the school. Maybe this is what affects the child, to do some changes, because there is something in the social circle that he is in connection with that certainly impacted him. And sometimes what is around the child, the teenager, is maybe the online community that he is in connection with. So pay attention to his online connections. You maybe you lost, the control, but you just try to gain control again, and to just monitor what the child is doing, how his what his friends are, the communities that he's communicated with, because some of them might impact him negatively, might him feel uncomfortable with himself and disconnected from, his just state of comfort. So of course it's so difficult to, at a certain point when a child is growing and he's a teenager, it's so difficult to tell him what to do, to give him an order. You have to find a solution, like a replacement for his activities, for the community that you think might have a negative impact on him. Okay, so you can just you can just try to give him an alternative. You can try to offer him another preoccupation. And of course there is another point which is actually connected to the second one that I mentioned, and this is practically a hobby. Anyone has a hobby, anyone has something that he likes, he loves doing, he's good at, or he just enjoys doing. So you can just focus his attention to maybe he likes reading, traveling, design, fashion, psychology, cooking, like whatever activity, drawing, painting, writing poems, who knows. There are so many things that someone can enjoy doing, and discover that, communicate with him and try to cultivate this hobby which will distract him from any other preoccupations. And practically you're not doing anything else but delaying such a bad and rushed decision. Actually, you don't have, I mean, the decision, such an important decision, like maybe irreversible, is not something that you should rush about. So just try to distract him and make him aware that he doesn't have money in order to contribute to such to surgery, to treatments. There is a lot of money involved. There are people who are struggling for their lives and they don't have money for treatments. So you as a parent, you contribute with everything, but you should make him aware that money can be a problem, and that since they don't have a salary, they don't have an income, you can't support everything, you know. Just finding ways to explain to the child your decision, and help him to surpass the emotional, I mean, the emotional state in which he is. So these might be some like simple solutions, but these might help some people who don't want to hurry up into such a difficult path, irreversible, and which can have serious effects on the child. So this is what I wanted to say for today, and until the next one, I wish you to have a great day. Goodbye.